Nicole Murphy had relations with your ex-husband. Were you two friends?
Mm-hmm. Birthday parties. I've been to her house. She was at my bachelorette party. But you know what? At that time, my mother told me then. She said, but you got to watch that one then. And I was like, who? I said, the one dancing. She said, yes, that's Eddie Murphy's wife. She said, you got to watch that one.
Current wife at the time or ex at the time?
I want to say I think she was still married. Mm-hmm. They were still married. And I was like, no, And so, when your mom tell you something about new school, you feel like you old school, And she was right.
How did you find that out?
I had checked the manifest of my plane because we owned a plane. And so when you check that list, it says all the people that have rolled on the plane. And she didn't ride on it with me. And nor did she receive an invitation from me. So if you had a girlfriend that has her own island, I would think that you would call and say, hey, girl, I'm coming, because I was getting everybody to come. So why you would accept an invitation from him and you don't even know him is unbeknownst to me. I don't know how that could happen. Do you? I guess not.
I never owned a private plane or
not that part.
I don't know. Meaning, yes, this is too rich for me. The manifest of the list, like, damn. So you saw her name on the list.
Mm-hmm. And I tried to call her. And, at first she said, no, I haven't been to Turks and Caicos. I have not been. And it was like, well, wait a minute, And then I called again, and then she stopped answering the phone. So at the time she was dating, at this time,
Michael
when
Strahan.
I found out, she was dating Michael Strahan. So I called him. And I said, hey, do you know anything about this? And, we talked or whatever. And I said, well, let me send you a tape that I have of proof, And so I did.
What tape? What was on the tape?
It was a tape of her and Michael when she was dropping Michael off at the private airport in her car. And they opened the gate and they pulled up to the plane, and she gets out and he gets out, and I go, oh, I didn't know y'all knew each other. And I'm gonna leave it right there because that part is my business. The other part is someone else's business, which I've never, would speak on. But for me, that was enough. It was like, wow, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Me too.
Friends don't do that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that I would think an enemy would do, or somebody that I just don't know. But someone that you have to watch your girl. Where I come from, south side of Chicago, that's an ass whooping. That's an ass whooping. Period.
Y'all, there haven't been many times we've talked about Ms. LisaRaye McCoy, but this right here is one of those moments. Because the way LisaRaye called out Nicole Murphy for sleeping with her ex-husband? Baby, it's one for the books. LisaRaye and Nicole used to be close friends. But everything changed when Nicole decided to start fooling around with Michael Misick, LisaRaye's ex-husband, and the wild part? It all happened right under LisaRaye's own roof. Once she found out, LisaRaye didn't hold back. She's been calling Nicole out ever since, dragging her for her actions, and labeling her as a homewrecker. But here's the twist, Nicole doesn't seem to care. She's not showing any sign of guilt or regret for betraying
I was hearing from my sources that she had called the paparazzi to take the pictures of her.
That's what I thought anyway.
And that this is not the first time she's done it. And that the reason why she's doing it is because she, in fact, actually does want to be with him.
Of course.
And she, in fact, if they're kissing like that, they f***ing.
What are the odds that these two black people would be in Italy and run into each other if they did not leave America to go to Italy together?
And what are the odds that paparazzi does not checking for either one of them is going to find them in some remote place in Italy to take pictures?
The foreign paparazzi. Hey, isn't that this director who we don't ever see, and Nicole Murphy who we don't ever see? Oh yeah, let's take their picture right now while they're kissing.
Exactly. And let them kiss multiple times to make sure that the paparazzi gets it.
Throughout the day.
Throughout
2
the
days.
day.
In the robes.
Right.
In the swimwear.
In your robes.
Like they were just waiting for y'all.
So that's what I was hearing, and that's what I didn't report because I was trying to be like, that's my girl. And in Love Muffins, if you don't believe that, go back to a couple of podcasts ago, or maybe more than a couple, like 8 podcasts ago, when I was talking about this, you were going in on her.
I was.
And I was pumping the brakes.
You were.
I was like, no, I was doing that. I'm just reaching for everything, trying to not.
I'm like, that hussy.
Yeah, not to really expose her for being the lying scallywag that she is.
What I call her, a Jezebel.
She's a Jezebel, but she's a scallywag.
LisaRaye like that. And honestly, that's the shocking part. Let's get into this whole mess, because the fact that Nicole hasn't been called out more often for her behavior is beyond me. Ever since Nicole divorced Eddie Murphy, she's been caught up in drama after drama. People say she's been jumping from one man to another, especially men who already have wives, like she's racing through the Fast and Furious franchise. All while trying to rebuild the lifestyle she lost after that divorce. Y'all might remember when Nicole got scammed by her so-called friend, Tony Stratos. He tricked her out of $10 million, money that came straight from her $15 million divorce settlement with Eddie. Now, let's be real, that $15 million was nothing compared to what Eddie actually made during their marriage. And considering that Nicole had 5 of his children, you'd think she'd have walked away with way more. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. So picture this, Nicole realizes that her millions are gone. The child support checks are starting to dry up.
That's true, absolutely true.
So what happened exactly?
Just what you said. She messed around with my husband. Here's the thing, we've all done something that we regret, we've all made mistakes, and we all have to learn from that. But when you start doing it and being messy enough to do it amongst family, how does a family kiss turn into a I'm sorry apology? Like, what do you mean? You didn't know that she was married? We all know that she was married. And that was 20 years, that's history. You don't do that amongst friends.
Right.
Because there's no loyalty.
Right.
There's no loyalty, and you got to look up, and your person that you invited to your house and you celebrating your birthdays and going to games with, you got to look up and they're in Italy with your husband.
Right.
Nicole have reportedly been close friends for years, and they travel in the same circle.
And my thing is this, plus, you know, you're not talking about it all the time. That's that friendship stuff.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Well, but listen, the whole internet's on fire about it. Even your sister, the brat, LisaRaye McCoy, jumped in social media and said, girl, Nicki Murphy, you went after Lela Rashawn's husband too? Shaking my head so wrong again.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
So what's the fine print of the tea? Like, did she go after LisaRaye's husband when she was married to the...
Absolutely. When my sister was the first lady of Turks and Caicos, absolutely.
And her kids are growing up fast, turning 18 and becoming adults. That's when she starts panicking. She wants to get back to the luxury life she used to have, and like some women who rely on their beauty to secure stability, Nicole went hunting for her next rich man. Now, nobody's here to judge that part. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting comfort or security. Do what you gotta do, girl. But where things take a messy turn is when she starts creeping around the husbands of her friends, and of course, she didn't stay single for long. Once she got caught up in one scandal, she just dusted herself off, grabbed her designer heels, and went looking for the next man to bankroll her lifestyle. Even if that meant breaking another home, people really started paying attention to Nicole's pattern when she was caught publicly kissing film director Antoine Fuqua, who, by the way, is married to actress Lela Rashawn. Nicole was out there in a bikini, lips locked with a married man. The photos spread like wildfire, and it became a full-blown PR nightmare for her. Nicole tried to get ahead of the drama by claiming it was all innocent, saying she and Antoine were just family friends who were greeting each other. But come on, who greets a family friend by kissing them on the lips? Nobody was buying that story. Word on the street was that Eddie Murphy wasn't happy with how this scandal made their family look. Apparently, he pushed Nicole to make a public apology. And right after that, Nicole tried to clean up her image, saying that the situation was a mistake and that her statement had been misinterpreted. But it sounded more like damage control than a genuine apology. Let's be honest, nobody accidentally ends up kissing a married man. You can't just oops your way into that kind of situation. And LisaRaye, for one, wasn't falling for that nonsense. She called it what it was, saying Nicole wasn't making a mistake, she was making moves. According to LisaRaye, Nicole was looking for her next rich man. And she thought Antoine Fuqua was going to be her new meal ticket, and LisaRaye knew exactly what kind of woman Nicole was, because she'd been through it herself. Nicole had already done the same thing to her. Back when LisaRaye was married to Michael Misick, Nicole had an affair with him. And here's the kicker, Nicole wasn't just some random woman. She was LisaRaye's friend. Nicole had even been at their wedding. Now, Nicole tried to deny everything, acting like she'd never been involved with Michael. But LisaRaye wasn't backing down. She stood firm, saying yes, it happened. Nicole did have an affair with her husband. Even LisaRaye's sister, rapper Debrat, confirmed it. She told Nicole's then fiancé, football star Michael Strahan, that Nicole had indeed slept with LisaRaye's husband. After that little truth bomb, it didn't take long for Michael Strahan and Nicole to call off their engagement and go their separate ways. Despite all that, Nicole still refuses to apologize to LisaRaye the way she did to LisaRaye after the Antoine Fuqua scandal. Word going around is that Nicole feels like LisaRaye is being extra, that she's bringing up old drama from more than 15 years ago just to make her look bad. Nicole supposedly said that LisaRaye's ex-husband, Michael, was fooling around with multiple women, some of whom were also LisaRaye's friends, and that LisaRaye is unfairly singling her out. Nicole claims LisaRaye should be mad at her ex, not her. From Nicole's point of view, LisaRaye is still hung up on her ex and looking for someone else to blame. She says LisaRaye just can't accept that her marriage to Michael wasn't meant to work. Nicole also pointed out that LisaRaye has accused other people before, like Dwayne Martin, Tisha Campbell's ex-husband, of being involved in the downfall of her marriage. Let's not forget, LisaRaye's marriage was as much about status as it was about love. She wanted the comfort and power of being the first lady of Turks and Caicos. Michael, on the other hand, wanted the fame and connections that came with marrying a Hollywood star. They both got what they wanted at first, but when the reality didn't match the fantasy, things fell apart. Nicole says she's tired of being dragged into this drama year after year. She wants LisaRaye to stop mentioning her name and move on, but after LisaRaye's latest viral interview, where she brought all of this up again, Nicole decided to clap back in her own way. After LisaRaye's viral interview started making waves online, Nicole Murphy took to her social media to post what looked like a subtle clapback. She shared a video of herself dancing, with the caption, "You can still be sexy, but keep it classy." But it wasn't the caption that got everyone talking, it was the song playing in the background. The lyrics said, "It's some money at my table, grab a seat with me. Cost a ticket just to cover my legal fees. I don't hang with jealous BS, that's a weak disease. Ho, don't run up. If you broke in my business, then just shut up. I invest in my body, B. I'm done up. I look good. I like to F him when the sun up." Now, Nicole didn't mention any names, but everybody knew who she was shading. And when someone commented, "When you hit the truth, you don't gotta say a word, just flex," Nicole didn't deny it. Still, this little comeback didn't win her any sympathy. People flooded the comments, saying Nicole had no right to act like the victim. After all, LisaRaye had been her friend, so no matter what problems LisaRaye had in her marriage, Nicole should have never been part of the drama, let alone the cause of it. The public wasn't letting Nicole off easy. One person wrote, "As long as LisaRaye is alive, Nicole Murphy will never know peace for sleeping with her friend's man." Another added, "Nicole Murphy is too beautiful to be this messy. Sleeping with your friend's husbands? That's low." And then someone else pointed out the real irony. Nicole left Eddie after he cheated on her, but then turned around and did the same thing to her own friends. Make it make sense. So now, people are debating, should LisaRaye just let this go after all these years? Or does she have every right to keep calling Nicole out for what she did? No matter which side you're on, one thing's for sure, this feud between LisaRaye McCoy and Nicole Murphy is far from over, and that's all for this one, y'all. What do you think? Should LisaRaye finally move on, or is Nicole getting what she deserves? Let's talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.